This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to my video looking at the LEGO May 4th sets. And, well, these just technically a few days before, but they are basically May 4th sets, since they're intended for the May 4th celebration. But yeah, see, it's time to go in, look at these because there's just some pretty interesting and some sets that are kind of surprising in here. So let's go straight into it. And first, there is Kylo Ren's command shuttle. And it's kind of surprising that this is coming out because, well, sequel stuff doesn't sell well. Really, there hasn't been anything besides stuff from the waves from 2019 and 2020 that was based on the sequels, with the single exception of the Millennium Falcon holiday set from like 2 years ago, I think. But that's sold well because it was inside the Millennium Falcon, so well, that's a kind of different reason that it would sell well. But just going into this set was, I mean, it's a decent looking set, but I'm not interested in getting this at all because I'm not really a sequel fan, and if I were to get some of these ships, I'd get other ones because, as I said, I'm not interested in this at all. And the same thing goes for the Kylo Ren helmet. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good, but again, I don't like the sequels, so there's no interest in me getting this really at all. And the buildable Star Wars logo, yeah, it looks cool, but I got one of these from like a from some store, just a regular Star Wars logo that lights up for like $20. So I really don't feel like spending my money to go get a buildable Star Wars logo since, unlike the Marvel one, this doesn't include any characters. Maybe if it included some cool exclusive characters, I would, but it's just the logo and really no reason to go and get this at all for me. The Rebel pilot Luke Skywalker, and honestly, it looks pretty cool. I do kind of wish this was a different Rebel pilot since we did recently get a Luke that was in the Return of the Jedi one 2 years ago. But still, it is cool to get him here in this Rebel pilot outfit. And I don't know, I might get this as part of it, especially if I'm close to the limit for the promo, which I'll be looking at in just a few minutes. But yeah, this is honestly it's one I'm definitely gonna get eventually. I do like to get some of these brickheads, and the Star Wars ones really haven't been disappointing for the last few years. And looking at the Jango Fett helmet, honestly, it looks really cool. I do wish that they kind of did what they did with the Marvel ones and included the shoulders and the figure with it, because that would have been nice to get that Jango Fett figure in here. And if they did, I probably would have bought this day one to get that Jango Fett figure, but it isn't, so I might eventually get this, but I don't know. I think it would look nice to have that next to the Boba Fett helmet, but I'll see if I can get it. That's definitely a, I don't know, 50-50 one. I don't know if but I definitely would like to get this as a gift, but I don't know if I'm going to spend my own money on it, so we'll see. And now one that's a basically guaranteed day one purchase for me because of just how incredible this looks is the Revenge of the Sith brickheads. And these are just really incredible. I think that it's also interesting fact that there should probably be an extra set of eyes, well, one eye each with Padme and Mace Windu. So if that is included, then you'd be able to go and swap those eyes out on Anakin to have him be in his normal Jedi Knight form, and then you can switch him over to the yellow eyes if you wanted to have him be a Sith. But yeah, honestly, it looks just really interesting. And looking at him, one thing that's a little disappointing is they don't have kind of a printed tile under to have the scar on his, well, right under his eye. I was a little confused at first because there was like a little piece of dirt on my computer screen, so I'm looking at it. And I'm like, I mean, there is a mark there. It's not exactly where the eye is. And then I looked closer, I'm like, oh no. I went and pushed it off, and I just realized there's a little bit of dirt. Then you get a really awesome Emperor one. And I think this is the first time Palpatine's ever been made as brickheads. Then there's an incredible looking General Grievous one. Looking at him, no, it looks like he only has two. Oh, he does have four arms, but looks like only two of them have lightsabers in them. I do wish that they included the two more to give him the four lightsabers. Then there's also a really nice Padme and Mace Windu, who's also really awesome to have. It is interesting with Padme since this is the second Padme that was included in the last 2 years, since she was in this Queen Amidala in the last one. And while it is cool to have her and Mace Windu, I kind of wish that they had Obi-Wan in this because Obi-Wan is such a major part of this film. So, I mean, I don't know, it's cool to have them, but kind of wish it was Obi-Wan and Yoda instead of Padme and Mace Windu, although it still is really cool. And one other thing that could have been interesting is if Palpatine had a lightsaber in one hand and lightning in the other, since he does have his lightsaber in this movie, and this is the only one he uses his lightsaber in. If you don't count that really incredible episode of Clone Wars, but just talking about movies, it's the only one he has it. And I do kind of wish that they kind of did him in his kind of other robes, like the Senate Chancellor robes, and not his Emperor robes, since, well, he isn't in those robes for too much of the movie. But yeah, still, they look really cool, and I definitely want to pick this up because they all just look incredible. Now we have a set that is definitely breaking Lego's rules because they said they're not going to have anything that's too violent, but they have a Lego set fully dedicated to a war criminal. And honestly, I think this Chopper build does look really, really nice. I was never the hugest fan of Chopper as a character, but still appreciate him for being just this absolute savage war criminal. And I mean, it's honestly just looks really cool. I think that they managed to capture his arms really well. They have the legs pretty good also. And I'd have to check Ahsoka, but I do remember in Rebels he had mismatching legs. And then he also has that wheel that is in there, so yeah, it just looks really, really cool. I think they did a great job making him, and it does look like he has at least one fold-out arm that's down at the bottom. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this set eventually because I like having those buildable characters in terms of, like buildable droids. And I do have a bunch of them. I have Yoda, well, Yoda isn't a droid, but I have the probe droid, R2D2, BD1, the Droideka, and also BB-8. And while I was looking to, oh, and R2D2 also. And while I'm kind of looking to get rid of the BB-8, I do definitely want to keep the rest of them because I just kind of love those buildable droids. I think it looks really cool, and it's going to be a really nice one to add into the collection, even though, well, there's also another set that has a buildable chopper in it that comes with the 20th anniversary Leia, but I don't know, I think that's just not as good as this one. This build just looks really, really incredible. Now, here's a set that I definitely want to pick up for one reason only, and that is its incredible figure selection, and that is the Andor Season 2 Ewing. And I mean, the Ewing looks good. I think that the original one was a lot better, but still, it is a really nice build, and I mean, I just want this for, well, specifically the Dedra Marrow, because, yeah, I have a few other versions of Cassian. I have a K2SO, and I mean, the Imperial Trooper is going to be cool to have, but the main reason I want this is for that Dedra figure, and she looks really incredible in this. And also, I'm going to be swapping that Riot Shield out for the Firestar Toys ones I got because it looks really great, and it's going to be cool to have him with that. So, yeah, honestly, I am probably going to buy a second one of those Imperial Troopers at a minimum, just on Bricklink, and well, probably just the torso because I'll probably get his unique head for him. Just make it a little different, the hat, and I can't tell if the legs are printed from here. I think they are when I'm sort of looking a little closer, but yeah, I do want to get this one really just for the figures, but the U-Wing will be nice too, and I'll probably do a comparison video of the two U-Wings because I would have both at that point. But yeah, let's go and move into the two probably most interesting ones of these, the promo and the May 4th set itself. And the promo, honestly, it's just really, really great. It is something I was expecting to be honestly a lot worse. I thought that we were just going to get clones with a kind of generic red torso, no arm printing, and like no dual molded legs. But instead, we get this incredible looking set where we get three really awesome, although exact same clone cadets. And you get a nice Camino training facility, and then this really cool looking speeder. And yeah, honestly, this looks really cool. Definitely want to get it because this set is probably going to be selling for, I'm guessing, at least $100. And that's my bare minimum guess. I'm expecting it's being more likely to be $150 to $200, just because people are going to want these clones, and there's only going to be a limited amount of these. So yeah, I do hope that they bring these clone figures back because this set is going to be really desirable, and a lot of people are going to want it. But yeah, now it's time to go and finally move into the big set itself, and that is going to be a really interesting one to look at because they have gone and brought back Slave 1, and instead of calling it Slave 1, they have to once again call it the character Starship because Slave is offensive, and well, that's just one of the stupidest things that really they've had to do. The name Slave 1 is, I mean, it's just a name, and the entire thing saying slave is offensive really, it's just really dumb. But looking at this set, you get to some incredible figures. You get a really great new Jango Fett and a really awesome new Boba Fett. The set's $300, and I mean, yeah, it looks just really, really, really nice. I just don't think I can justify buying it because, well, one, I just got the Shire a few weeks ago, and then I just also got some autographs, and there's just to be honest, there's so many other sets I'd probably rather get than Slave One. And yeah, as I said, it looks really, really, really nice, and I'd love to have those figures, but they're probably gonna be selling for $60 to $70 each. At least definitely the Jango Fett, and the Boba Fett's probably gonna be maybe not as much, but still a good amount. And yeah, honestly, as I said, this looks just absolutely incredible, but I just can't justify buying it. So yeah, it's really all I have to say about these. Maybe I'll do a different video for the Marvel ones, but I just wanted to talk about the Star Wars May 4th one specifically in this one. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.